Good morning, class. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be seeing you this morning, and I hope that you have time to work on this before we come together in our Zoom meeting, but no worries if not. But here is today's math. So today is just more practice with our formula for the area of a triangle. So you're going to be in your workbook, and we're doing exercise 32 and 33. So what I'm going to do with you here is just a couple of examples from your workbook. So it's the first question of each exercise. So if you want to get your workbook out, then we can do the first questions together, and that's one last question for you to do on your own. Okay, so let's start with exercise 32. So this is 1A, and I'm going to answer this question. I didn't draw it on the board, so make sure you're looking in your workbook to see our triangle. And here we go. All right, so it says find the area of each triangle, and it gives us our base and our height. So we see that it is 9 inches by 8 inches. So we're going to go half, because that's our equation, half times base times height, times 9 times 8, okay, which equals half times 72, which equals 36. And remember our units, inches squared, okay? So there you have it. That's the first question. And make sure you're remembering to jot your units down. And it's also helpful to show all 3 of these steps so that you know what you're doing, okay? So now we're gonna flip ahead to page 79. So this is the first page of exercise 33. Okay, and you'll see they've tried to be a little bit sneaky with us by giving us 3 measurements. So this is where you have to decide which is the base and the height. And we know how to find this because our base is going to be at a right angle or perpendicular to our height. Okay, so you see the little box that's giving you the right angle. In this case, it's right in this corner. So that's going to tell us that we're going to use this number and this number for our base and our height. Okay, and those numbers are 16 and 12. So, again, we're going to do half times 16 times 12. Okay, and Miss Hudson's going to stack for herself here. Okay. All right, so it equals half times 192, and we're going to do our long division. Okay. And it equals 96. And our units are centimeters this time, so centimeters squared. Okay, so that's 1A on page 79. And now I just wanted to go over with you quickly the first question, because this is what we worked with yesterday. So I just wanted to refresh your memories when it gives us this, where it's a rectangle and a triangle, and you're finding the shaded area. For these first ones, you might not have to find 2 areas, but you may have to find 2 areas for these ones because it's asking you for the shaded areas. Okay? So I'm going to do the first one on each of these pages with you. So 2A on page 80 is giving us a bunch of measurements. It tells us that we have 4 centimeters and 8 centimeters on the side, which we're going to have to add together to make our base. Okay, so that's 12 centimeters. So let's start our equation. Half times 12. And then it tells us that the height, because one side of the rectangle is 7 centimeters, that's our height. Okay, because it's at a right angle with the base. So 12 times 7. Okay, so that means that it's half of 84. All right, which means that it is 42. And our units are centimeters squared. Okay, so now we're going to look at C. So the shaded area is not the triangle this time, so you have to keep that in mind. So we're gonna have to find both the area of the rectangle and the area of the triangle. So again, we're given two measurements that we're gonna have to add together. So the length, the side, is 21. So this is for the area of the rectangle. And our width, or height, is 30. Okay? So that's 630 meters squared. All right, and for our area of the triangle, that's where the 14 meters counts, because that's how high the triangle is. Okay, so now we're just doing 30 meters times 14 meters. Okay, and we gotta remember our half times 30 times 14. Okay? So it's half of 420, which means that it is 210 meters squared. Now we have to do our subtraction. So 630 minus 210. Our area is 420 meters squared. Okay, so that is page 81, that's C. All right, so now that I've helped you out with 4 questions, you're all set to go. Okay, so today's work is exercise 32 and 33. Have fun.